We have sent rovers and satellites to Mars to learn more about our intriguing neighbor and to see if there's any evidence of life there. And while we haven't found little green men just yet, NASA's Perseverance rover did discover some potentially habitable environments where microbial life could have existed long ago. We've also learned that there are plenty of resources on Mars that we can use to sustain human explorers for long periods of time. So let's talk about how humans could colonize Mars using science and technology that already exists today. It's me, and this is What If. Mars is about twice as far from the Sun as Earth is, so it receives roughly half the amount of solar radiation. This makes it much colder than Earth, with an average surface temperature of -63 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere of Mars is also extremely thin, about 100 times thinner than Earth's. This means that if you were to take a spacewalk on Mars without a spacesuit, you would quickly suffocate and freeze to death. But these are not unsurmountable problems. The first step to colonizing Mars would be to establish a permanent human presence. We can do this by sending astronauts in a spacecraft that will bring them safely to the surface. There are several companies working on spacecraft capable of carrying humans to Mars, including SpaceX, Blue Origin, and NASA's own Space Launch System. It will take approximately 7 months to get to Mars, so it'll be quite the journey. And while they're in transit, the crew will need plenty of things to keep themselves busy. They'll need to stay fit, so they may exercise in the zero-gravity environment using equipment like a stationary bike or free weights. They'll need to work together as a team to accomplish tasks and solve problems. And they'll also need to be entertained, so perhaps they'll watch movies or play games together. To keep their minds sharp, they may engage in virtual reality simulations of everyday life on Earth, or even participate in teleconferences with family and friends back home. Ultimately, the key to a successful mission will be the crew's ability to work together and stay positive in the face of challenges. Upon arrival at Mars, the crew will land in a designated area that has been selected for its potential habitability. The landing site will have been chosen based on a number of factors, including the availability of resources such as water ice and minerals. The crew will emerge from their spacecraft into a prefabricated habitat that has been constructed using 3D printing technology. The habitat will consist of multiple modules, each with its own purpose, such as living quarters, a medical bay, and a research laboratory. The modules will be connected to each other and to the surface of Mars via a network of tunnels and airlocks. These will allow the crew to move around safely without being exposed to the harsh Martian environment. One of the most important tasks facing the crew will be the production of oxygen. This can be accomplished by extracting the carbon dioxide from the thin Martian atmosphere and converting it into breathable air. This process can be carried out using a device known as a molecular sieve, which uses a special type of zeolite to trap the carbon dioxide molecules and release the oxygen molecules. The oxygen can then be purified and pumped into the habitat, where it can be used by the crew to breathe. Water is another essential resource that will need to be extracted from the surface of Mars. One promising method for doing this is to use a process called subsurface-induced meltwater extraction. This involves drilling a hole into the Martian surface and then heating the subsurface ice until it melts. The water can then be extracted using a drill bit and pumped to the surface where it can be used for drinking and other domestic purposes. Another technique that can be used to extract water from Mars's surface is called electro-osmotic dewatering. This method uses an electric field to pull water out of Martian soil. The soil is saturated with water, and then an electric field is applied across the soil. This causes the water molecules to migrate towards the negative electrode where they can be collected. With oxygen and water taken care of, the crew can begin to explore their surroundings. They will use rovers to travel around the surface of Mars and conduct scientific experiments. The crew will also begin to set up the first human outpost on Mars. This will involve constructing buildings, laboratories, and other infrastructure needed to support a permanent human presence on the planet. The crew will also begin to grow their first crops on Mars. This will be done in special greenhouses where the plants will be grown in Martian soil, using hydroponic techniques. Hydroponic farming is a method of growing plants without soil. Instead, the plants are supported by an inert medium such as perlite or vermiculite and are watered with a nutrient-rich solution. This method of farming is ideal for use in space because it takes up less space, requires less water, and produces higher yields than traditional soil-based agriculture. So what will life be like for humans on Mars? Let's imagine a day in the life of a Martian colonist. In the morning, they might wake up in their habitat and check on the status of their crops. Using hydroponic farming techniques, the colonists will grow a variety of plants for food, including leafy greens, vegetables, and fruits. After tending to the crops, the colonists might head to the surface in a pressurized rover to conduct scientific experiments or explore the surrounding terrain. On Mars, gravity is only about 38% of what it is on Earth, so everything feels lighter. A baseball would weigh nearly 9 times less on Mars than it does on Earth. In addition, because there is no air on Mars, sound does not travel, and everything is silent. Although the lack of atmosphere also means that there's no wind or weather of any kind. So it's always calm and still on Mars. While on the surface, the colonists will wear special suits to protect themselves from the cold and vacuum of space. The suits will also have helmets that provide a clear view of the surrounding terrain. Despite the challenges posed by the harsh Martian environment, life on Mars will offer many opportunities for exploration and adventure. The colonists will have the chance to explore a whole new world and make discoveries that could change our understanding of the universe. They will also have the opportunity to build a new home on Mars and establish a permanent human presence on another planet. If there are no signs of life on Mars, then that is. Back at the habitat, the colonists might meet with other members of their crew to discuss their findings and plan for future missions. The crew will need to work together closely to accomplish their goals and ensure the success of the colony. As the day goes on, the colonists might also need to repair or upgrade some of the habitat systems. This could include the life support system, power generation system, or communications array. Maintaining the habitat will be crucial to ensuring the safety and well-being of the colonists. In the evening, the colonists might come together to share a meal and relax after a long day. They might also engage in recreational activities such as playing games or watching movies. The close quarters and isolation of the habitat will foster a sense of community among the colonists, but it might also pose some challenges. Living in close quarters with other people can be difficult at times, and the colonists will need to learn to work together and resolve conflicts peacefully. As the sun sets on another day on Mars, the colonists will know that they are part of something truly special. They are pioneers who are building a new home for humanity on a distant planet. Their work will be challenging and dangerous, but also incredibly rewarding. Life on Mars will be a true test of human ingenuity, courage, and determination. But if all goes well, it could also be the beginning of a new chapter in human history. For now, though, we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for Mars and the dream of human colonization. And if you want to learn more about the latest developments in space exploration, be sure to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching. Do you think it's possible for humans to colonize Mars? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun science videos.